What is up, Steelers Nation? Thank you so much for jumping on to another episode of All Steelers Talk. I'm Noah Strackbine, joined always by my main man, Jacob Punturi. Find us on youtube.com/All Steelers Talk. Check us out anywhere you get your podcast. The Pittsburgh Steelers are ready for some moves, my friend. They do not plan to wait as free agency begins, and we're diving into what that means and who that can be about. Meanwhile, a new quarterback has emerged for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Ian Rappaport has contract details of Aaron Rodgers, or at least a guess on Aaron Rodgers. It's 75 and sunny here in the city of Pittsburgh. I hope everybody gets to enjoy it a little bit. You've had one hell of a day, my friend, covering the NHL trade deadline. Shout out to you and the team over there. How you feeling? How you feeling after
feeling, if anyone's here and has been in the Discord, our All Steelers Talk Discord, they know that I just sent a comment in there saying how eager I was to jump on here and talk football. I woke up very early this morning, and look, you never will hear me complain that like what Noah and I do is like particularly hard, especially with what a lot of people's jobs are. But today was a very tiring day for, a guy covering the NHL, and it was nothing but hockey from about 6 a.m. until about 3:59. And I'm excited to be talking Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm excited to be talking a little NFL action here in the middle of the day.
I am too, and I'm very grateful for you and everybody over there. It was crazy watching. It was like a stampede of just NHL. The NHL trade deadline, we won't spend more than another 7 seconds talking about this, but the NHL trade deadline is 100 times crazier than any other trade deadline, and I don't care what people say. They are wrong. Those guys are just disposable. It's like trading cards. It's crazy. Again, shout out to you guys. Very much so appreciated. Let's talk some Pittsburgh Steelers football here. Before we dive into the position that the Steelers are ready to make a splash on, according to one Steelers insider and news that we've heard ourselves, I want to toss a quarterback name at you that you're going to hate, but we have to ask anyways because it is available. Gino Smith got cut today by the Las Vegas Raiders. And can you envision a Gino Smith, Will Howard, Mason Rudolph, Ty Simpson quarterback room for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Give or take any of those names.
Can I be totally honest with you? I
say it.
I think this presents sort of the best stopgap option all of a sudden. You have a guy who is, 35 years old, to turn 36 when the season begins. 24 hours ago, we were still hinging our entire hopes on a 42-year-old returning. Let's get a little younger. Let's invest in the youth. Let's bring Gino Smith, the interception king. Some might call him. I call him a guy who does nothing but pick up 3,000-yard seasons.
He does.
And we've seen that in the right situation. Gino Smith does extremely well. I think, again, we all had the same mentality coming in here. This is a stopgap season regarding the quarterback position, unless barring something miraculous, barring some sort of incredible development from a player like Will Howard or some sort of draft pick coming in here and just being a day one starter, this is going to be a very forgettable quarterback year for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I got no problem bringing a guy in like Gino Smith who you know exactly what you're going to get. Nothing great, nothing super duper terrible. I mean, come on. Come on.
The answer is no. The answer is no. Stop. The answer is no. The answer is no. There are certain names, Kyler Murray, that you can take a shot on and say that shot was worth it. Okay. What are you getting in Gino Smith? What are you doing? Bring Kenny Pickett back for round 2. Might as well, they'll have the same role in 2026, backup quarterback. They'll be the same person on a depth chart. They'll be making the same amount of money.
Sure, these are mighty words from somebody who's advocated for the two names that you've advocated for, Aaron Rodgers and Kyler Murray. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, if you're going to get a bad quarterback, here's a guy that you know exactly what you're getting day one, and there's going to be no fluctuation. You're not praying, oh, man, is this a resurgent year for Kyler Murray? Can Aaron Rodgers' knees hold up for another year? You just know you're getting an average quarterback. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with it?
No, you're not getting an average quarterback. You're getting a below average quarterback. No, you're not. He's not good.
Who's the good quarterback option here?
Kyler Murray, because he's 28. No, they all stink. Here's the thing. is there has to be a level of, and I'll say this 100 times before Tuesday when Aaron Rodgers signs, there has to be a level between 43-year-old, this is stupid, and just this is stupid. Because there's no good. It's bad and bad. In between this bad is nowhere that you should go. You should just go 43-year-old, everybody else, Kirk Cousins, Gino Smith, doesn't matter who you are. And then the guys that you're just like, yeah, well, you know what? Might as well. Gino Smith's not you might as well. He's not. Kirk, he's in the same conversation as a Kirk Cousins. Younger, I guess. Whatever. Not a good quarterback, just younger. No. That's why Daniel Jones doesn't get included. That's why Mac Jones doesn't get included. That's why all these names don't get included, because there has to be, it has to make some sense. And Gino doesn't make any sense. None whatsoever.
I listen, there's no argument for me here about Geno Smith being a good option for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's just that's not the we don't live in a reality right now where we are debating who is the best option out of several good ones. We are debating which spoiled sandwich are you most willing to take a bite out of. And
yes,
I think that is
I'll take the slider, dude, all day. Give me the slider all day and tell Geno Smith and his normal sized ass to get out of here. Right. No. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. Let's talk another quarterback before we talk again. The Steelers being ready to completely go after somebody, according to one insider, and I made some phone calls on it as well. Ian Rappaport floated this out about good old Aaron Rodgers, our pal, as Jacob would call him, Aaron Rodgers. He said this on what he believes the contract of Aaron Rodgers is going to be. Quote, my guess is he probably knows what the offer would be, right? Was it 20 million last year? Whatever it was, my guess is it's similar. So whether it's been offered or not, he's probably knows what it is. It's just a matter of him saying, do I want to play or not? For one, I agree 100%. Aaron Rodgers, we talked about this year. Aaron Rodgers doesn't have to have a contract on the table to understand that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to make a contract offer. It's maybe just him being a little bit ridiculous and overdramatic. Here's where I get tripped up on this conversation. Does Ian Rappaport just casually tossing $20 million out there worry you at all? That he was just like, it could be 20 million. Was it 20 million last year? Yeah, we'll go 20 million again. Because to me, 10 million or even 12, what Aaron Rodgers actually signed for compared to 20 makes me nervous, because 20 is ridiculous. If you're signing Aaron Rodgers to a $20 million contract, you're wrong. I mean, do you think that there's any possibility that Ian's heard that number and tossed it out there as just mental math here as he projects Aaron Rodgers' deal?
I think, Ian Rappaport hears things from particular sources that might have players' interests in mind. So that's maybe where that $20 million came from. I think we had a similar-ish conversation recently, and I'll come back to it for just a moment, because I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, with this extremely flexible salary cap situation they can afford to be a little reckless in how they spend some money. So $20 million, too much for Aaron Rodgers, right? Like, he should re-sign for $10 to $12 million, a similar range to what he originally signed for in 2025. We agree on that.
100%.
If you, you're going to, appreciate it. If you're going to overspend somewhere, with this $50 million in salary cap space you have, okay, giving $20 million to a starting quarterback in the grand scheme of things is not going to be the most detrimental thing to your season. I can't really fault them. I'm not going to be extremely worried if that's where they go, but I am kind of getting the sense, and I wonder if this is related at all, that they aren't going to spend as big as we think. And maybe a deal that, like a $20 million for 1 year for Aaron Rodgers, is the big spend of the 2026 free agency class. And I don't say that just because I love being pessimistic or anything like that. But if that is the case, combined with the fact that we have heard, there's not much going on in Steelers land, and we could talk more about that, but
according to one insider, there isn't. That's different. That's about to change rather quickly. Let's get into
it. Overall, I'm fine with it.
I'm not. That's surprising, honestly, to hear that you're okay with that for the Steelers. Just simply for me, it's you have $52 million. I'd rather you go sign Kenneth Walker for $20 million than hand $20 million to Aaron Rodgers. I'd rather you go spend that money somewhere else, even if it's a ridiculous signing, than hand it to Aaron Rodgers. And I hope that that's not the case. Am I worried that it is? Yeah, a little bit. Like there's definitely a little part of me that thinks that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to spend more on Aaron this year than last year because they're a little bit more desperate to get him than they were a year ago. The Steelers are in a much worse situation. I think people need to acknowledge that when it comes to Aaron Rodgers right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers don't have the options that they had last year. They don't have a fallback plan in Russell Wilson. It's Aaron Rodgers or nothing. And last year it was Aaron Rodgers or nothing, but they understood what the situation was. The Steelers made an offer to Aaron Rodgers the first week of free agency last year, and they didn't change that offer one time throughout the entire process. They're going to do the same thing here. The difference is if Aaron gets a little bit like, oh, you got to make this move or whatever, the Steelers may adjust compared to last year. Like they may look at this and say, we don't have a backup plan at all. We have no one whatsoever. We can't bank on Mason Rudolph like they were trying to do last year because Mason proved last year that he's not a starting quarterback. You have no other options. And I if they get that desperate, I think it could happen. And it makes me very nervous because wow, what a bad move that would be. What it's awful move if they sign Aaron Rodgers to a boatload of money.
A misuse of salary cap space. We are in complete agreement about that.
I agree. We'll see what happens here. Let's talk the splash that may be coming for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Why everybody showed up today. Appreciate you guys. According to good old Mark Kaboli, friend of the show, I love him, man. As we all do. We may be getting some Steelers news rather soon. According to the Kaboomster, the Pittsburgh Steelers are quote unquote hell-bent on getting a wide receiver within the next week, which means 7 days. It's Friday. You are 2 days into free agency before the Steelers sign somebody. Maybe it's less than that. I think that brings up a lot of conversation. I'm personally very excited to see what that means. And it's exactly what the Steelers should be doing. This is not an offseason with an offseason wide receiver class that you wait around for the best cheap option. You don't sit here and go, we're going to let people overpay early so that we don't overpay and then we'll strike second. No, what you have to do is go out there immediately and strike a deal before somebody pays Wan'Dale Robinson $30 million, before somebody pays Alec Pierce $35 million. You sign hopefully Wan'Dale Robinson, a Romeo Dobbs for 12 when his market value is 15 to set the market in the wrong direction. That's what you do. I think it's a great idea for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll ask you who afterwards, but I more so want your reaction to this first and whether or not you agree or disagree that it's the approach the Steelers should be taking.
I mean, they obviously need to add wide receiver talent. I mean, we talked about this so much. I just don't believe the Steelers. Excuse me. I don't believe them. I do not believe they've said this for a decade. At least this is my second full season on the pod doing this, like third season covering the team. This has been a narrative every season I've written about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, they're gonna put a ton of effort into getting a wide receiver. Maybe it's free agency, maybe it's a trade. Even after they get one, they're still in the market for a number 2 wide receiver. Okay, great. Do it. Go get one. So yes, I agree that they need to prioritize maybe being aggressive and maybe the correct allocation of all of the salary cap space is aggressively pursuing a Wan'Dale Robinson and making sure you are setting the market for a wide receiver.
Yes.
I just do not believe in the follow through of the Pittsburgh Steelers to do this. I think they are going to get their number 2 wide receiver in the NFL draft in the first round. And I think they might add a player in free agency. I do not expect him to be the number 2. And while I imagine a lot of people are waiting around to see what happens, and maybe Aaron Rodgers is as well.
Yeah.
If you're holding your breath for a number 2 wide receiver, you're going to pass out. Go pass out.
Who do you anticipate them signing? What do you anticipate them signing? A wide receiver 3?
Yeah.
Who fits that bill?
I think it's a guy like Christian Kirk, and it's someone like someone who you could say with a straight face is a number 2 wide receiver at times, but we know he's a number 3. Like, that's the type of player I'm envisioning them signing in free agency. It's not going to be, I'd love for it to be Rashid Shaheed, Wan'Dale Robinson. I'd love for them to go out and give them, a nice chunk of change. Honestly, as we've talked about, you could afford to be reckless and give Rashid Shaheed a 3-year, $60 million deal. You can give Wan'Dale Robinson a 3-year, $70 million deal if you're feeling crazy. Like, you can miss. It's okay. But the fact would be that they have 2 really good wide receivers and then could go get a third in the draft. And all of a sudden you have a dynamic offense when you really aren't even sure what you're getting here. Alternatively, you go get Christian Kirk, add Denzel Boston, who's afraid of this passing game. It's a very different perception.
Are you saying who's afraid of this passing game as if no
one?
One?
Who would be afraid of DK Metcalf, a rookie, and Christian Kirk? Realistically.
I mean, I think that's better than the Ravens passing game. I think it's better than you don't? Than Zay Flowers, DeAndre Hopkins, and Rashad Bateman.
Watch them draft someone like Jordan Tyson, and it will significantly change the conversation.
What if the Steelers draft Jordan Tyson?
That'd be sick as hell. They still need another wide receiver.
But that's what I'm trying to say is, like, unless you think Rashad Bateman's significantly better than Christian Kirk, which I guess you can make the argument about, like, I'll push back and say that I think if they sign a wide receiver 3 in free agency, their room is significantly improved. Like, even if it is a Christian Kirk, which I don't think should be the answer. I'm not trying to argue that. But if it's oh man, getting into the wide receiver 3 territory is tough because those names are, it's just a different, but I also think, like, I think Romeo Doubs is a wide receiver 3. And I think that's a fantastic signing if the Steelers go out and get Romeo Doubs in a week.
That's a good signing.
But I don't think he's a wide receiver 2. I don't think he's a wide receiver 2 anywhere.
No, but if you do that plus getting a guy in the first round, then you have a very good wide receiver room. But there's the difference is the player, the quality of the player. Like, I like Christian Kirk a lot. I just don't think 2 30-year-old wide receivers and a rookie instills any realistic fear. That is just a hope and a wish and a dream, and I'm good on that. You get Romeo Doubs, you get a guy who's still in his physical prime, plus you get Denzel Boston in the mix just to, like, keep using a name. Then all of a sudden you have 3 guys that can win in one-on-one coverage. You have 3 guys that can stretch the field, and you have 3 guys that the defense has to consider. And that will significantly improve the offense compared to what I imagine they're going to do through free agency.
I just have a hunch it's different. I do. It's not the Mike Tomlin
I want you
era.
To be right.
And to me, I know that, but to me, it's like we're judging all of this off the Mike Tomlin era, and Mike Tomlin's gone. Like, Christian Kirk would be the easy answer with Mike Tomlin here. And he would give you some giant rant about how great he was in the playoff game. But I have no idea what Mike McCarthy does, except for the fact that he comes from the Dallas Cowboys, who are notoriously known for making ridiculous moves. The Steelers are known for making boring moves. The Cowboys, he spent 4 years there, or 5 years, 6 years, however long he was there. And I mean, they did things like they went out and got CeeDee Lamb. You know what I mean? Like, like they made moves for guys, and not always, but, like, I wonder if that, not necessarily the Jerry Jones mindset, but, like, I'm having a hard time going into this and saying that the Steelers hired Mike McCarthy to be the keep us Super Bowl bound, but they're going to skimp out on everything else. Like, they hired a 62-year-old head coach, and I think Mike Tomlin was 85% of the reason that they did things like signed Darius Slay and signed Patrick Peterson, because he would tell guys 10 years earlier, I'm going to get you when you're old and cheap. That was Mike McCarthy's not out there telling guys that. So to me, it's like, what comes different? And I'm much more open-minded than I've been in the past about these things, because I think we're overlooking the Mike Tomlin effect and how negative it's been for years.
Yes, I I don't disagree with that, and I'm not pushing back on that. My only, I think, piece of my only response that feels relevant is that I think I have come to the conclusion that I disagree with the idea that Mike McCarthy was truly hired to be the guy who can bring them to the Super Bowl. I think he was
Ooh.
hired because he most easily transitions this team and keeps things the same for ownership and management. And I think that is what we are
Agreed.
going. And that's, to me, that is not even close to how you get to a Super Bowl, right? As we've
I
seen,
agree with that as
the
well.
decline of very has evidently shown that that's not the way to do it. But I think the way ownership wants this team to be constructed, again, this is the first offseason to really prove that wrong and to show that it was the Mike Tomlin effect. But I have to see that first in any capacity before I believe it, because yes, there's been some glimmers of hope, right? Like, see a Gino Smith, see a Calvin Anderson, some critical roster decisions made that probably wouldn't have been made last year under a different regime. Now you have to follow it up. If this is a team that gives $20 million to Aaron Rodgers, that's the same. This is the same Steelers. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, if this is a
Sure.
team that waits around 3-4 days for the free agency class to shake out and then picks up the scraps, it's the same Steelers team all over again.
I agree.
I want to be positive, right? Like, and I know I have I very easily bias towards being negative and pessimistic here, but like, the history suggests they are not going to be aggressive spenders in free agency, and I am eager to be proven wrong.
No, I hear that. And I don't think you're being pessimistic. I truly think your words are what pretty much every Steelers fan feels, is like, we've seen this rodeo too many times and it always ends the same way, with us jumping on the bull and falling on our ass. That just feels to be what happens. And you could be right. To me, I think you're spot on with, like, maybe it's not a Super Bowl, but it's to keep the Steelers in that, to transition the Steelers, to make sure that they kind of continue the same Steelers way. But like, again, like, I wonder, and we'll find out in a week, like, how much of it was how much of the Steelers way was signing old guys, because again, that's not what it always used to. It used to be the other way around. Before Mike Tomlin showed up, Steelers guys would get forced out the door constantly. I grew up with the notion that, and you probably did too, that like the Steelers don't keep their guys. They don't do it. If you are expensive, they're going to find the next guy every single time. And they don't do that anymore. Now it's loyalty to a fault. And to me, it's like, I wonder, again, we're going to find out in a week. I wonder how much of that was Tomlin when it comes to handpicking dudes that, maybe he just feels are quote unquote leaders and veteran professionals in this league, and how much of it Mike McCarthy is going to come in here and be like, yeah, no, I hear that. Let's not go spend $25 million on Rashid Shaheed, but we'll go get a Romeo Dobbs for 15, and that'll be our Christian Kirk. And again, we're going to find out in a week. And if it's the Christian Kirk outcome, in trouble. If it's the Romeo Dobbs outcome, looking pretty good. So I'll ask, to finish off the conversation here, what's your prediction? We'll do a lot of this on Monday, when hopefully things are already happening by the time we're on the show. But we're 3 days away from the Pittsburgh Steelers legal tampering period. What's your wide receiver prediction? Because you have to imagine they're getting somebody.
Yeah, I think they're getting somebody, but I think it's going to be a name that does not elicit a ton of excitement. Like, I think it is going to be, again, I don't have a specific name other than it's going to be a Christian Kirk level type of player. I think it's going to be a wide receiver 3. I'm not anticipating it. I'll tell you players I don't anticipate it actually being: Wan'Dale Robinson, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans. I don't anticipate it being
Mike Evans. I think it's a surprising one. That you have that on the list, because I feel like that is as boring in Steelers as it comes. Like,
it certainly is, but he's just too good.
He almost meets the requirements, but dang, dude, he's just too talented. He's too
talented.
Okay.
He gave DK too many troubles. Don't think it's going to be Alec Pierce.
No, me neither.
Romeo Dobbs, I think, is a possibility, but I think it's like the tippy top of the list. I don't think it's going to be Juwan Jennings. I don't think it's going to be Rashid Shaheed. And anyone else I can scroll through here quickly? Yeah. So I think it's going to be maybe Romeo Dobbs, maybe a Christian Kirk, or maybe someone I've talked about is Jalen Naylor, or someone I've written about before is Jalen Naylor. I think it's going to be a player maybe like that.
Dude, if they get Jalen Naylor, I honestly wouldn't even be upset about that. But that's the least Steelers thing they could possibly do is go out. He's
a wide receiver 3-4, and that's
with upside though. With upside,
maybe
more upside than Christian Kirk for sure. For sure. My prediction is Romeo Dobbs. That's who I think is coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just think I think there's too many connections there. It's too easy to make phone calls about him. To me, it's gonna be wrong. That's the top off the Aaron Rodgers Sunday with a little former wide receiver. How about that one? Like, it's just easy. My guess is Romeo Dobbs. It happens rather quickly. They had interest in him last year. Who knows? They probably had interest in him 2 years ago. We don't even know. That would be my guess. Second guess, you want to hear this one? And you could throw up if you want to. Allowed to throw up on the channel. My second guess that we are not talking about enough at all, Deebo Samuel.
How far do you have to reach to pull that one out of your ass?
Didn't have to reach far let's connect the dots. Okay. We just went through you just explained Deebo Samuel. You just spent 8 minutes explaining a Deebo Samuel signing. That's exactly what you just essentially did. Not good, old. Yes. Not good, old, cheap, boring. You want me to add it up here for you? Because it just comes out as Deebo. That's all it does. That's there it is.
He's not boring, man. He's anything but boring. This guy's a two-way dual threat.
Exactly. And only the Steelers would think so, which they would go out and get. He's my second guess. It's Romeo Dobbs or Deebo Samuel. The Steelers have had interest in him for 4 years, dude. For 4 years. I know for a fact the Steelers have called teams about Deebo Samuel. 4 years they have called. 2 different teams. Nah. Yeah. Yep.
I mean, that might all be well and good, but 4 years ago, 2 different teams ago was a wildly different version of Deebo Samuel compared to what you're getting now.
I'm not arguing that it should happen. I'm predicting that it will.
Thank God.
That's terrible, but it could happen. All right. That's the wide receiver talk today. Pittsburgh Steelers going to make a splash soon. We'll see what happens. Shout out to Kaboom as always. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side of it, we're going to start answering your questions. Toss them in the chat. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Pittsburgh, this one's for you. From the voices behind all Steelers talk comes Black and Gold apparel, your go-to for bold, fan-driven merch that reps the city, the Steelers, and everything in between. Whether you bleed black and gold or just love that Pittsburgh grit, we've got something for you. It's more than a podcast. It's a community. And thanks to your support, we're proud to bring the passion from our mics to your closets. Gear up, stand out, and show the world what real fans look like. Shop now at blackandgoldapparel.myshopify.com.
All righty. Shout out to our members. Shout out to our super chatters. Can't thank you guys enough. Everybody in AST Nation and the Steelers Intel members, can't thank you guys. Steelers Intel just dropped a new video today. Go check that one out. Appreciate you guys as always. Want to give a huge shout out to our boy Roderick out here gifting 5 all Steelers Talk memberships. Make sure to call into the call-in show next week. I might push the call-in show to Thursday next week because it drops on Wednesday. Free agency opens on Wednesday. Feel like it would benefit us to go later unless we go early. You guys decide in the chat. Early, should it go Tuesday or Thursday? Because I think it could float either way there. I'll let you guys decide.
Want to throw some 7s in the chat for one day?
7s in the chat for Tuesday. 7s in the chat for Tuesday. 8s in the chat for Thursday. That's what we'll do there. Shout out to Officially Squash and Grapes. Coming back as always. Appreciate you, my guy. LKZ. Every mock draft I've done has Styles falling around 15 to 20 range. I'd make the trade up in a heartbeat. Trade PQ for a 3rd or 4th draft could be amazing. I I would consider trading up for Sonny Styles. I don't know how much I'd consider it, but I'd have the conversation. I'd put him in the list of 15 to 20. And if he gets to 20, sure. What are you giving up there? Nothing. 15, you're giving up something. I would have that conversation.
Yeah. I think my first reaction to this is I really have a hard time believing he falls into the 15-20 range, because I think so many franchises, if they weren't already in love with him, completely fell head over heels in love with him after his performance at the combine. He's just he's miles above the rest of his position athletically. Like, there's so much to admire about him and his game. There's so much potential still to untap. I feel like he's going to be a top 10 pick at this point. If he was at, say pick 17, 18, I'm very down for that, because I don't think it would require very much versus the value that you could get in a Sonny Styles. I don't know if I would be willing to trade up into like the top 10 for him, for example.
No.
Where I think he's actually going to go. I don't know if I'd be willing to give up the assets to get there.
No, me neither. I think that's you. It has to be like, first off, inside linebacker, really important position. I don't think it adds the value to your defense that maybe a player like Caleb Downs will. And because of that, I would have a hard time doing it as well. 15, again, like, yeah, you're getting an upgrade. You could move PQ. Like, I think that's the part of this thing is like, it's not difficult to trade Patrick Queen. You're not calling teams being like, I don't know, man. I don't really want this 26-year-old linebacker who has like 1 million starts in the NFL. It just doesn't feel like something I'm interested in. No, teams will take him. I think it would be a worker. I mean, PQ and Sonny Styles together, honestly, that'd be my choice right there. That would be fun.
I'd give up Peyton Wilson for that to happen.
I don't even think you'd have to give up Peyton Wilson. 1, 2, 3.
I'm just saying,
I'd give up Malik Harrison. See you later, pal.
If life was that easy, hell yes, then, right? Like, of course. Like, yeah. I'm genuinely surprised Malik Harrison was not cut, but
he will be.
That's a different question.
I don't hope. I never hope anybody loses their job, but I anticipate.
I hope he's on the streets. He's just like, Jesus, Noah, relax.
My bad, dude. My bad. I anticipate it for sure. Shout out again to Don't Piss Me Off, Slap Nuts. Almost said Nut Slap. Slap Nuts, gifting gifting 5 all Steelers Talk memberships, tongue twisters today. I appreciate you, my guy. One of the best names probably of all time. I would just leave it up. This one's for you, my guy, Schuleberg. What's up, gentlemen? Hope all is well. Still,
Chris, our guy,
still hanging out here.
Just wondering if there's been any new defensive revelations during your off season. Just wondering what you're kind of doing, what you're cooking up over there for the Los Angeles Rams. We'll talk later. But yeah, appreciate you as always.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Duff, Jacob, I haven't checked my phone all day. The Habs make any splashes?
No.
Wow.
The Habs were surprisingly quiet. And you can find everything that happened at wherever a breakaway on SI.
Like the place I
wrote about it for so much. But no, they were surprisingly quiet. But it was a quiet day overall in the NHL, except for the last hour when every team got their trade in.
Yeah. Shout out to the guys. Artisanal Bully Kennel. Noah, you got my mock draft email? I don't think I did actually. Send it again. What were your thoughts? I keep getting Styles, Sadiq, and at least one of the top 3 wide receivers at 21. If the wide receivers are gone, do you pass on the other 2 because Boston is cheeks? So we don't have to spend super long on it, but there is a growing notion amongst NFL fans that Denzel Boston is not good. Jack was on Wild Steelers Stories yesterday talking about how he does not like Denzel Boston at all. And his exact words to me.
Wow.
I didn't want to say anything at the Airbnb because me and Jacob were going to have to fist fight and I would have drowned him in the hot tub. And I said, Jack, that's not
wow. He said that
on the show. Don't go look it up, but
wow. No, he would.
Just believe it.
He would.
I would go. I mean, yeah, dude, look at if Sonny Styles falls to 21, you take him. If Sadiq falls to 21, I would go Sonny Styles over Sadiq. Sadiq makes me nervous. The man's way too big.
I mean, I like Kenyon Sadiq, but like, I mean, Sonny Styles is an easy pick over him, regardless. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm taking Denzel Boston over him over Sadiq too. Like, yeah. If tight end was a dire position of need, sure, but like I'll take Freiermuth and I'll take Darnell Washington over Sadiq anyways.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I mean, yes. To me, Sonny Styles is the easy. I'd go Sonny Styles over Denzel. Would you go Sonny Styles over Mekhi Lemon if they were sitting there?
No,
No.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
I think if you ask me who has a greater chance of being like a boom or bust player between Styles and Lemon, I would pick Styles because as much as I love a guy like a freak athlete linebacker,
Yeah.
we have heard a tale or two about freak linebackers, and
Agreed.
sometimes they just don't work out.
agree.
Sometimes just being athletic is not enough. I'm not saying Sonny Styles is just athletic, right? That would be
Yeah.
an extreme reduction of what he's put on tape and on film. But there's a possibility that could happen. I think Mekhi Lemon's going to be a superstar.
I also agree with that. I would. Oh man, I think I'd go Sonny, but it would be with the same like understanding. I would just be willing to take that chance on a guy that turns out to be like Fred Warner or something. Or turns out to be Isaiah Simmons. It could be one or the other, and the second one would suck. But I think I'm attracted to those like super athletic, crazy defensive guys, and he gives me that vibe. But I agree with you. I think in 10 years, if you told me, hey, what's your bet on who's better, Mekhi Lemon is the answer for sure. Cody Silva is just off the wall right now. Trade Mitch Trubisky. It's Trubisky. Give a first for Zach Wilson. Maybe we can get the GOAT Will Levis. Thank you, my guy, in here. Just bring into that's what we all really want. I would do all these things. He also says, trade our first round pick for another pass rusher. Max Crosby not coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers. How upset are you going to be when he ends up in Baltimore? Because he's going to end up in Baltimore.
Not very, because Jesse Minter does nothing for me. So
Jesse Minter does nothing for me. Guys. Our Max Crosby worked with Josh McDaniels. Okay, he's a guy.
I'm pretty sure the only reason Max Crosby ever got good was because of his defensive coordinator in Vegas the last 4 years. I wonder where that guy ended up.
Who? McDaniel?
No, I'm talking about Patrick Graham.
Oh. Shout out my guy. So he's like, this is a stupid board. Sonny Styles is way better than Mekhi Lemon. I agree. Don't even worry, Eleanor. We already know. Chris here. Guys, if
Ford
we
almost
are
went down there,
so she's letting you know. Guys, if we are spending on free agents, then left tackle and left guard would be good to protect our quarterback and get the run game going. Which all line targets are available? Rasheed Walker kicks off the list, okay, and I'll pull up the rest of the list here now. But there are a number of left tackles and guards available for the Steelers to go after if they chose to. And I mean, Taylor Decker just became available. Not a bad name. Cam Robinson's out there for a year, a little stopgap. You know what I mean? Cool. Sounds good. I don't know if I'm going Landon Young. Fred Johnson is a sleeper, I think.
Sleeper. Oh, wake him up. It's a sleeper. I think there is. Would you ever consider? Is there any chance, or would you consider kicking Troy Fautanu to the left to sign a right tackle, or are you only interested in signing like a stopgap left tackle if that's what it comes down to? Focusing your draft efforts in 27 maybe on getting a top guy.
Who do you have in mind at right tackle?
The first person that came to mind is because I wrote a story about this was like Jawan Taylor, who's like played 30 snaps at left tackle his entire career, but like is fine as a stopgap right tackle.
Yeah.
Could Troy be the left tackle in that scenario? Why would you want to switch it all around? I think is a fair argument in response, but like maybe that's your only option. I don't know. If you can get Walker, that is clearly like again, go sign him and go give him so much money that he can't turn it down. Like
Yes,
what
agreed.
what would be a better use of your salary cap space, in my opinion? Like, especially if you're going to draft, you have other guys circled in the draft that you're very high on, other positions that you are planning to address there. Like, whoever's at quarterback, if it's Aaron Rodgers, you need the absolute best offensive line. And they had a very good one last year, but
Yes.
you need so much more time to give him in order to create plays. Go give him some money. I'm all for a big contract. How much does it cost to sign him?
I'm looking that up now. My screen.
Is it a 30?
It's 20, dude. $20 million a year on average. I'd give him 25.
I was gonna say, give him 23 and a half. So he feels like he's crushing.
Yeah. I agree. I very much. I would Rashad Walker tops all lists of all free agents for me this offseason, and it's not even close. Like, go get your left tackle, solidify your offensive line for the next 5 years, and see what you do with a quarterback. Because again, you draft somebody, you hit on the draft next year, and he walks into an offense with DK, Mekhi Lemon, Romeo Dobbs, even Christian Kirk. Screw it, Christian Kirk, and an offense. Jalen Warren, Kenneth Gainwell, Pat Freiermuth, Darnell Washington, an offensive line of Troy Fautanu, Mason McCormick, Zach Frazier, even Spencer Anderson and Rashad Walker. That guy's you just did everything you could. If that guy sucks, it's on him. It's not on anybody else. So I agree with that. Artisanal Bully Kennel, Noah, Jacob Rodriguez is a must-have in my book. What he lacks in elite size, he makes up with elite production. Plus, he's got an elite mustache. 128 total tackles, 4 interceptions. Dude is a dog. I like Jacob Rodriguez. My only thing with him is I think he's going to climb his way into the first round, or like super early second.
First round?
Yeah.
I mean, the draft does get stupid. So, like, sure.
Yeah.
He's got that Burt Reynolds mustache for sure. Like,
it's crazy.
Dude. You were like, what? You want to be like, do you comb it every day? You know what I mean?
Does.
Like, it was that pristine. It was that pristine.
He's got stuff in it. We all know he's got a little product in that stash.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're telling me that if you shaved a mustache tomorrow, it would look that good? No chance. It would take time and effort and product.
Correct. Fair enough. I mean, I don't think he's anything close to a first round pick. I think he's a late round second pick at best. But if you get him in round 3, if you had an extra pick in round 2, I would love that. I think he would be somebody who you could gradually work in over a rookie season, and he would become a starter fairly quickly after that, by my assessment.
I agree. But again, I think he's going to move up. Like, I think by the time this is all said and done, Sonny Styles is going to go early, and people are going to be looking for that second linebacker. And people will say it. It will happen for sure. People will start talking about.
You think he's going to go over guys like Allen from Georgia, or dude from Texas? Was Anthony Hill from Texas?
Hill.
Like, you think?
No, I think Anthony Hill. I think he. Remember when Peyton Wilson was supposed to be a first round pick and only went 3rd because he didn't have ACLs, and it made no sense because Peyton Wilson wasn't a first round pick.
I genuinely don't remember.
Okay, so Peyton Wilson had first round hype
you.
right after the NFL Combine for what felt like ever. And then it was like, he doesn't have ACLs, can't draft him, undraftable.
Can't turn left. Can't draft this guy.
And I think that's going to happen with the class here. And I think Jacob Rodriguez is going to be the guy that like quickly moves up. Anthony Hill is going to go first round. I'll put that on my mom today. But I think the other ones are. I think Allen, nah. I think Jacob's got a chance to jump him. I do. And I don't agree with it. I'm just saying that I think it's a possibility. Did the Steelers meet with him?
With who? Jacob Rodriguez?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think so.
No. They met with Anthony Hill formally.
Yes.
So I talked to him, I believe.
Yeah.
Many names and faces.
Cody Silva. Kaboli said the same thing last year. I don't remember
about the receivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody know, like, this is why I said what I said earlier. Like, this, everybody's like, yeah, you said this before. It's like your boyfriend being like, that was the last time I cheated, babe. Like, you're like,
Yeah,
like,
but the
I don't.
boyfriend got he got new parents, okay, a new mentor. He got a new therapist, whatever you want to call the head coach. I don't know, but it's
No,
different.
that's what
Okay,
that would help someone in that analogy. Get new parents, get a new
I
therapist, get them
know.
all, get them
It's
all.
that's what happened. I agree, but I'm hoping. Okay, Chris is another one. Which rebuilding teams might trade us a good wide receiver? I don't. There really aren't any. I was actually thinking about that the other day. Like Arizona's a rebuilding team, but they're not going to give up anybody. You don't really have like who are you going to trade for? There really aren't like any really good rebuilding teams or teams that don't have that quarterback where they're now trying to rebuild. You know, like where they're not like the Saints. The Saints are like, we're going to turn Tyler Shuck into something great. We have to keep Chris Olave. It's like you don't, and he's not. But they're going to try. They're
pumped. They're Scott
pumped.
Cuisine is their gift from God. Like, let them have it for a little bit.
Exactly.
You
And
know,
there just
while he
really isn't
molds
anybody there.
Shuck boy. Let's go Shuck him.
That's what I'm saying. There aren't like crazy rebuilding teams out there with good wide receivers, unless I'm missing somebody. But like,
No, I mean, there's good wide receivers probably everywhere, but like, there's no team that's like, you know what, it all sucks. We're just building from scratch. You like them?
that's exactly it.
Give us your
There's
best
none of
offer.
those teams. There's none of those teams. The Browns don't have anybody to trade. Who are they giving up? Jerry Jeudy? Oh, fun. Go get Christian
Sick.
Kirk. The Jets have literally nobody except for Garrett Wilson, and they are not getting rid of Garrett Wilson apparently. The Dolphins think Quinn Ewers is like the guy, and they've shut down Jalen Waddle trades. You go Houston, no. Jacksonville, maybe, but they're not even rebuilding. Indianapolis isn't rebuilding.
Contender.
Tennessee has nobody to trade. You go into the AFC North, it's nobody. You go into the AFC West, Fernando Mendoza needs somebody to throw the football to, so Trey Tucker's not going anywhere. It's crazy, but there's no names out there. None.
You're right.
None. Schuleberg, non-mobile A-Rod had a bottom 3 wide receiver room, and Jonnu Effin Smith let him cook with an actual competent wide receiver room. Shula, this might be why you didn't get the job in Pittsburgh. Okay, just gonna toss it out there real quick. Might be if you walked in there with that attitude. Okay, I would have fired you too, for sure. You had to say something good about Will Howard.
Yeah, that's the only way you can get this job, right? Because that's an absolute necessity. If Aaron Rodgers wasn't 42, yes.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Sure. If he was 39 even and we're having this conversation, I'm like, yeah, this guy can still sling the rock, man.
Yes.
Like, you just need to give him receivers. I'm not willing to take the gamble that just because you surround, like, the fact that there is even a discussion, and we talked about this in previous episodes, about them needing to address the wide receiver position in order to entice Aaron Rodgers to come back. Like, that is nonsense to me, just as like this sort of suggestion is now, because you're banking on a player who at one time was elite, finding a good stretch when he was statistically not very good at getting the ball downfield. He was not very good at moving out of the pocket, and he's a year older. And once you're over 32, every year older is a gamble and a half in terms of their health. So it's really hard for me to get on board with this sort of idea. I've accepted that he's the stopgap, but I can't get on board with this idea that, like, oh, you surround him with just the right parts and he's MVP Rodgers again. I don't think those days are here.
I agree. I agree. I don't think he's MVP. I think there's moments every game where you go, that was a good Aaron Rodgers throw. And then there's 6 moments a game where you're going, that was a really bad Aaron Rodgers throw. And it's just not. Is Aaron Rodgers a starting quarterback in the NFL? Yeah, because there's not 32 good starting quarterbacks in the NFL anymore. But I don't think it's like, I don't have high expectations for him. Let's say that. Good enough expectations where he's going to start all year. You're not even going to talk about benching him. But I don't think he's 42 years old. Like, if you signed Tom Brady tomorrow, I'd be excited about it. But I wouldn't be saying the Steelers are going to win a Super Bowl. I'd be saying, I cannot wait to watch Tom Brady in Pittsburgh. That sounds so freaking cool. We got to do that last year, and it was a good time. Thomas, Arthur Smith's guys are off my team. Can't be any more happy. No more Juju or Kenny Gainwell. Do you reckon they go for Tariq Woolen? I'm Kenny Gainwell. I expect to come back. I also would not even come close to lumping those two into the same conversation. Gino Smith and Kenny Gainwell. I don't understand the hate for Kenny Gainwell. I think Tariq Woolen maybe. My expectation is the Steelers are not going to make a splash in free agency at corner. They're going to do it in the NFL draft, and they're going to sign small but reliable, and then they're going to go like a name like Teron Johnson, who got cut today, who's very strangely was mentioned by Aaron Rodgers.
Favorite.
Aaron Rodgers, it was crazy how that happened. But I could see that over Tariq Woolen. I don't think they're going Tariq because I think Tariq is too big of a name and is going to be too costly.
Yeah, I think the Super Bowl tax might be a little bit too rich for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they're in the market for a, number 3 corner who could play number 2, or that number 2 role at times if whoever they draft in this upcoming draft doesn't step up immediately. I don't know. It's Tariq Woolen, I think, could easily get money. $15-20 million, something ridiculous. And I just, as physical as he is, as shut down as he can be, there's a streakiness to him, and there were times when Seattle was ready to part with him for next to nothing before the 2025 season. So, I wouldn't be willing to go there contract wise.
I agree. Keeping a truck in here, Cody Silva. I can see Khan signing Tyler Lockett.
Last year, I think I said it. I said the same thing.
I did too, and I was I was on board with Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett would have been a 10 times better signing than Adam Thielen, okay, and MVS. So at the time, spitting facts. Today,
they couldn't get on the train. They couldn't get on the moving train.
No chance, dude. Tyler Lockett, no chance at all. Cody's got another one. McCarthy was hired because he was the safe option. Agreed with that. Definitely agreed with that. But and we're gonna see how that changes things. You know what I mean? I'm curious. Artisanal Bully Kennel. Noah, I'd take Mike Washington Jr. in the 3rd/4th round. Dude is huge. He's super fast. Has the Henry build that will last longer than a rookie contract. You are a big Mike Washington guy. I agree. I like Mike Washington a lot. That's where I would like the Steelers to go running back if it's not Kenneth Gainwell. I mean, Mike Washington to me is a dude. Where do you see him realistically going? What's your thoughts on him?
My initial ranking on him was like a 5th round pick. And I think the combine has pushed him into, end of day 2 conversation. I think he's going to be maybe a 3rd round pick. I think it would be great if the Steelers could get him in the 4th, but yeah, I mean, he's huge. He's like 6'2", 6'3", like 230 or something like that, but he ran a 4.3 something at the combine. Like, it's a guy who's built like a between the tackles running back, but he can do a lot of the things that Jaylen Warren does well, like creating yards after the catch. Like when he has the ball in space, he's electric. So I think he would be a great sort of complementary guy for the Steelers backfield.
Me too. I'm a big fan of him. I hope the Steelers do go running back in the draft. Just have a little competition for Caleb Johnson. I'm not positive they're gonna. We're gonna see what happens though. Chris, can we trade for a wide receiver with Tampa Bay, and who? Is Jalen McMillan still there?
I was gonna say, did he recover from whenever
shout out to
Daryl Porter Jr. just
Daryl
like
Porter Jr.
accordion flipped him.
Yeah, that was rough.
I just remember texting you being like, there goes my trade plans. Like,
yeah, my other thought there though is if Mike Evans is gone, maybe that does remove Jalen McMillan as an option, because
I'm sure
they don't have Josh Palmer anymore, or Trey Palmer, anymore.
They have Buka.
But it's a Buka and Godwin. They need a 3, and I think McMillan's probably their 3rd.
He only played 4 games last year.
Yeah, dude, he was snapped in half. Okay, his head touched his head touched his heels. We all watched it. Your body's not supposed to do that. Yeah, you can't. You're not supposed to. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to slap your butt with your lower back. It's just not supposed to happen.
You're not supposed to kiss your perineum.
It's crazy. Maybe you feel different, but to me, if that's their big 3, I think Tampa's a team that would probably remove themselves from the from the trade conversation because they seemed pretty hell bent on it last year.
Well, I mean, there was no budging on.
No, they were like
wide receivers last year.
Dude, we got 40 wide receivers. We're keeping them all. Okay,
keeping them all,
every one of them. And it didn't work out for them, but I agree. I don't know.
I just don't see. Yeah, I don't think they're a realistic trade partner right now.
VR30. If Justin Fields is cut, are you getting him?
No.
I go Kyler Murray over him all day. All day.
God.
I would, dude. That's such a better option. He's cheaper.
It is. You're right. It's just not. None of it's good. None of it's good.
None of it's good.
I'm upset. I'm upset.
There's no good options. We've established that. Some team is good. The Jets are going to end up with Malik Willis paying him $35 million a year. All right. It could be significantly worse. And Kyler Murray is going to win MVP in Minnesota. We won't even have any conversation about it because it's just going to happen. And we all know where it happened here. Darth Salty Peanut Snack. Fantastic switch up of the name here. I know we're constantly talking about the players, but who are you guys most excited to see what they can do on the coaching staff? Keeping them salty. My God. It's fantastic. Patrick Graham.
Lord.
Easy Patrick Graham. I am so excited to see what the Steelers defense looks like with post Mike Tomlin era. That's just like, I'm pumped for that one. Besides that, Adam Henry, the wide receivers coach, very excited for that one. Oh, the new offensive line coaches I'm very excited for as well. Campin and
all 12 of them.
And Dry Evans. And Petco. Not Petco.
Yeah. The D-line coach.
Yeah. I'm actually excited for a lot of them, to be honest. This is an exciting group of it's a weird group because they're all connected in a very strange and concerning way. But if you just looked at them individually, you'd be like, oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's an exciting one. So Patrick Graham tops the list. The defensive line coach, the wide receiver coach, and the offensive line coach, I'm also super excited for.
Yeah, I'll add one name we haven't mentioned, even though we mentioned every single other one, is Brian Angelico, new master of the offense, new Padawan to be molded by Mike McCarthy. I'm excited just to see what this offense does under this new vision. You know what I mean? And all snark aside, like this is a completely. I as much as I hate Frank Signetti Jr. being on the staff.
With no role whatsoever, just here to hang out.
It just says senior guy.
Yeah,
all right. Whatever Steelers staff roster. I'm excited to see what Brian Angelico does, and especially how it pertains to the tight ends like Pat Freiermuth coming from that tight ends position coach that he's held for so long in Minnesota.
Yes, for sure.
Jerry salty.
Jerry, if we don't get Lee Hunter, what about Zane Durant? I like Zane Durant.
Ooh.
Okay, I like Zane Durant. And this is not a bash on Zane Durant, but that super athletic defensive tackle guy never excites me. It's just not who I envision succeeding in the NFL. If you are a defensive tackle and you walk in with your belly out like YA Black, I'm going, that guy's going to be all right. You know what I mean? Worst case scenario is going to be all right. You walk in and you got a 6-pack, I'm going, go eat a burger, pal. Okay. You're trying to stop the run. You got Lane Johnson coming down on your shoulder. You better be able to move that bad boy. And yeah, I don't know if Zane Durant's going to do it.
Unless you're Aaron Donald, you know what I mean? Like there's very rare exceptions.
Yes. That's exactly it. Like there was one Aaron Donald and he was crazy, but like, but again, I do like Zane Durant. It's more so my hesitation on those athletic guys.
He like borders right on like 10, 11 in terms of defensive linemen.
Where do you
for me.
have Lee Hunter?
2.
Yeah, it's a great place. It's a great
place.
Yeah,
is Caden.
I was gonna say is one Caden McDonald.
Caden, Lee, Peter Woods, Caleb Banks.
Peter Woods, also another one. Makes me super nervous. Way too tiny of a human.
Yeah, I get it, but he's a freak. Dante Corleone, Daryl Jackson.
Yeah.
Christian Miller, which is definitely lower than a lot of people have him. And then Dom Orange.
Oh, Dom Orange, another good one. Another good one. Again, I think Zane Durant's going to be good somewhere. But I think if you draft him in a 4-3 defense, you have the opportunity to figure out where he fits best. If you draft him in a 3-4, he's got to play defensive tackle. And I am concerned that he's going to end up being a DeMarvin Leal, where the hell does this guy go type of player. Makes me Lee Hunter, I'd use 21 on him. And I'd be so excited about that 21. So excited. Schulerberg, Jacob, I just DM'd you some plays I cooked up in my sleep. Don't leak them, please.
Appreciate it. I never, that's what happens in these conversations is confidential. I'm a lawyer, so I can't give up any client information.
Facts. Sean, any news if Cam Hayward is coming back for sure? So yes and no. I every conversation I have had about Cam Hayward has been that he's coming back to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that's the expectation. Nothing has been set in place. Omar Khan's supposed to talk to him last week. To me, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when it happens. And I truthfully don't even know if it's going to, I don't know if it's going to be a big conversation, or a big announcement. Maybe it will. Maybe Cam will, I'm sure he's going to want that attention on his podcast or something, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Cam just showed up at OTAs and it was just yeah, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I was going to retire. Nobody said that. It's you said that. That was you. Came right out of your mouth. And then he's like, I need another contract. So I don't know. I did
not compensated enough.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. No one. That's fine.
Yeah. But I have every conversation I've had with sources, it has been that Cam Hayward is expected to be back for sure. VR 30, we should trade for Jalen Milroe or Anthony Richardson. I'm out on Anthony Richardson. Jalen Milroe, I could get behind. I could. You want to take a flyer on Jalen Milroe for nothing?
Do you see any more upside in Jalen Milroe than, I don't know, Will Howard?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
You said that confidently and quickly.
Yes. That's why he was drafted 3 rounds earlier.
Well, I think because of his 40 time had a lot to do with that.
Agreed. Very much so agreed. But yes, I think Jalen Milroe has a crazy strong arm. And if the questions are, if Mike McCarthy's game plan for Will Howard is he's a moldable block of clay that I could make his feet work and his arm work better and fix his mechanics to be able to do all those things, Jalen Milroe could. I mean, why aren't we doing that with Jalen Milroe? You know what I mean? And then you add a 4.3 40. It's here you go. Here's another moldable block of clay who's fast.
He's gonna Patrick Swayze this. He's gonna ghost you.
Yeah.
I mean, I genuinely don't have enough research on Jalen Milroe at my display. Maybe it's because maybe his feet just don't have what it takes to.
He did not look good in college.
Yeah. He seemed like a running quarterback who would struggle to throw at the next level, and so far it seems like that's the assessment the NFL has given him as well. I'm not saying what he is or isn't. I just don't know if I see any more upside in him than I do a Will Howard, in that there's just not a ton. You're taking a chance.
I do. Agreed. So nobody's trading anybody for you know what I mean? For Jalen Milroe going, this is our franchise quarterback. But I'd trade him, you know what? Why not? Here's a 6th round pick. Have a good time.
2031 6th round pick.
It wouldn't get the job done, but I'd be in on it. 603 Yinzer, shout out my guy here, Noah and Jacob. Pretend you are Omar. What is your pitch to join the Steelers to any free agent or trade target? Do you want the realistic one is Aaron Rodgers is going to be our quarterback, and Mike McCarthy is a well-known head coach, which I think we learned at the NFL Combine holds way more weight than what we thought it was gonna. And
fair.
And we have guys like TJ Watt and Cam Hayward and Jalen Ramsey and DK Metcalf coming back, which again, to me, you and the average fan means nothing. And you're like, that sounds awful. You tell that to Romeo Dobbs, and he's going, that's pretty damn good. There's a good little package that you got going on there. That sounds way better than the Jets that are trying to pitch me Aaron Glenn. It's just not It's not looking good. These names hold weight. They really do.
Mike McCarthy is certainly more respected than I think the response from Pittsburgh has indicated. I agree with you there. I don't think it holds a ton of like. I don't know really what the pitch and sell is on Pittsburgh as a free agent destination right now. Like, you want to possibly make some money if you're at the right position. Yep, I understand that. You want to come in here. Yeah, if you're trying to sell a cornerback, I understand you could sell Jalen Ramsey as being a key player around here to learn from and be around. Joey Porter Jr. is your guy to deal with. Like, Deshaun Elliott is here. Like, I understand that pitch, but like, if I'm Romeo Dobbs or even Wan'Dale Robinson, like any of these bigger wide receiver names, and you're trying to sell me on this offense and your sell is Aaron Rodgers is definitely coming back, like, I don't know how enticing that actually is in 2026. Like,
I think significantly more than people are going to think. You're thinking through the eyes of a fan. You know what I mean?
No, I'm thinking through the eyes of a player who wants to make money and maybe win.
Well, if they want to,
I think
not win. You're not. That's crazy. You're not tying those two together. No, who's paying you and winning?
I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of teams who probably give you a slightly better chance of winning than the Pittsburgh Steelers right now.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. But you're telling me that, let's say, who needs a wide receiver out there? The Atlanta Falcons. You're telling me they definitely give you a better chance to win than the Steelers long term. They got a team that's just got a new head coach that has a quarterback that was taken in the top 10. Mm-hmm. You're not more enticed to go there than you are Pittsburgh. There's no way Michael Penix holds more weight than Aaron Rodgers.
Not if that's the deciding factor. Sure, I think Aaron Rodgers alone is probably a better than Michael Penix, but the totality of that, or if that's your big sell, is Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
I do not think it is a big sell anymore in 2026 like it was, because you can say, oh yeah, he's, it's better than Michael Penix. Okay, that doesn't mean much when the better is you can book your vacation in January. You can set your clock to an early dismissal, when it comes to this NFL season. But like, if it's just sick to play with the legends, then yeah, maybe that's a great pitch. I have a really hard time believing that someone who thinks they are at the peak of their NFL game looks at anything Aaron Rodgers did in 2025 and goes, yeah, that's the guy I want to throw passes to me.
Every single player on the Steelers told the ownership and coaches that they want Aaron Rodgers back. I think that the deception of Aaron Rodgers inside and outside the NFL are drastically different. And while, again, we sit here through a lens of somebody who's watched Aaron Rodgers for 18 games and covered the Steelers and have strong opinions on Aaron Rodgers.
Sure.
It is completely different from a guy who has none of that, who didn't watch the Steelers, didn't watch a single game of the Steelers, was told Aaron Rodgers and said, oh, okay, cool. I'll call my buddy who played with Aaron Rodgers in the NFL and have to hear what he has to say about him. And then he says this. It's totally, these guys don't sit down and study film before they sign with somebody. They go off of pure money and knowledge of what they've heard. So it's like the Mike Tomlin thing. Like, for years, people would say, like, well, that doesn't hold any weight, until everybody came here and continued to say Mike T was the reason they signed, because it's different. I don't agree with it. I don't think you have a strong Super Bowl chance, but I think they hold on to it.
I feel like you argued against yourself in the sense that, like, it is about money and players' interest. How do you get the most money in Pittsburgh, and where is the best interest for you as a player? Like, where does that lie? Is it with the Steelers? I can't, like, if you tell me that your idea of swaying someone to believe that is through Aaron Rodgers and you don't have much else to go off of, I just think you got insufficient funds. You know what I mean? You're trying to withdraw some cash you don't got in the bank account, my man.
I hear you. I disagree, but I hear what you're saying. I'd be curious to know what And we'll ask, whoever they sign. I'm curious to know what they say. VR30, should we reach out to the Chiefs for Worthy or Rice? Hard, strong pass on Rice. Worthy, they would never give up in a million years, but I would go get him immediately.
Sure. Yeah, if you can get him. Yeah. No, Rasheed Rice. No. Rasheed, dude. No.
Yeah.
Apparently the Chiefs don't give one single shit. They'll trade anybody besides Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Apparently, they don't care.
For sure. Warda or War Dog. I remember this. Normally QBs that win national championships go first round. That's not true. What are the big reasons Will Howard went so late? I don't watch college that close. Thanks. It's totally different. It's the list of the percentage of national championship quarterbacks since 2000 that have turned out to be good NFL quarterbacks is very small. It's a very small percentage. It's like Joe Burrow, Cam Newton. That's like it. It's like the whole list. And it's just not. It most times doesn't work out. So statistically, that's just not the case. Sorry, I'm trying to look up a list.
Shout out Matt Mauk,
yep.
Former LSU Tiger, former Denver Bronco, now the best damn dentist
in the world,
in the middle of the contiguous United States.
That's my guy right there. That's my guy. No, yeah, most times national championship guys don't work out. You could ask Terrell Pryor, Cordell Jones. The list was crazy of how Chris Leak, it's just crazy how bad the
Greg Krenzel,
God,
Dorsey, Josh Hoople,
AJ McCarron. The list is just brutal. Most of these guys, if you win a national championship in college, you're hoping to just turn out to be Tim Tebow. Get a good couple of years. That's all you're really hoping to do. Egyptian Cobb salad. Can't believe it's been a year since I joined the picnic pack. Man, it's full of fun, joy. Could not have asked for a better community. Give Will a shot. Shout out to Egyptian Cobb salad, my guy. Shout out to all you guys. And I'm hoping that the Steelers give good old Will Howard a shot. I don't think it's going to happen, but we're going to see. We're going to see. Nate Moore, Romeo Doubs versus Brian Thomas Jr., same cost. Who would you prefer and why? I mean, Brian Thomas Jr., but if you had to give up a first-round pick for Romeo Doubs, it's terrible. It's a terrible trade. If they were both free agents and for some crazy reason they were both the same price, Brian Thomas Jr., but they're not even going to be remotely the same. It's a totally different conversation. This is tier 1 versus tier 2 all day. All day.
Yeah, I mean, Brian Thomas's down year last season is a good year for Romeo Doubs, right? And that's not disrespect to Romeo Doubs as a person or player. He is very good at what he does, but Brian Thomas Jr. is the better wide receiver and has a higher ceiling, and he's 23, not even 24 yet.
Yeah. For sure. John, hey, Noah and Jacob, obviously 2026 quarterback class is a bust. So with eyes on 2027, realistically, how many teams are going to be looking at a quarterback besides the Browns? Because the Browns, the Jets, most likely, possibly the Minnesota Vikings, possibly the Atlanta Falcons, the Arizona Cardinals, possibly the Rams. Going through here, who we got, who else we got, possibly the Texans. That might be it. We get everybody there.
I'm sure there'll be more.
Possibly the Saints, I guess. Probably not, though. Those would be, I would say that's the list right there. And Steelers are going to get, it's a good list. The Steelers are going to get somebody. We'll see what happens. VR30, keep Howard, draft Jeremiah Smith next year. I mean, if you want to keep Howard too, awesome. But I'll go get Jeremiah Smith next year. Sure. He's going to go probably second overall. But if not, I'm all about it. Maddie.
He's a nasty, nasty receiver.
What's more likely? We trade for a wide receiver. If so, who? And we sign one, or we sign one in free agency. Oh, what's more likely? Signing one all day. Yeah. I think it's a borderline unlikely the Steelers trade for a wide receiver. I think it's guaranteed they're going to sign somebody. Who? You say Christian Kirk. I say Romeo Dobbs. Really, it's going to be
Jalen
Mike Evans.
Naylor. Oh, God.
Pittsburgh Hornets, they go with Kyler, but magically we can make him as tall as they want. But every inch you add to him, you remove an inch of every offensive lineman. How big are you making Kyler Murray? What a fantastic question here. This is a good one.
Zach Frazier's the wild card in all of this,
Zach
right?
Frazier's like 6 feet tall, max.
Yeah.
Max 6 feet tall. You're gonna make him like 5'8" in this process. This is
which means short yardage situations, you're at a disadvantage once again.
Always,
but just for a different reason. So, like, do you take 2 inches off? So
Yikes!
You're like open, Kyler can see, but then
Kyler's
Zach
what,
Frazier's
5'10" then? Not even 6 foot. He's just
I was gonna say 5'7". You know,
he's getting normal people height. We're getting it takes 3 inches just to get him to be. It takes 4 inches to get Kyler Murray to be a normal height quarterback. That's not
in more ways than one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe. Guys wear giant boots all the time. I don't know what's going on here. All right, let's keep it trucking here. Fetty season. Noah picks 2 Steelers for your hoop team to go against Jacob's team. Oh, dude, DK Metcalf and Darnell Washington all day. What you doing? You can't even pick anybody that would guard that.
I don't need to, because I would take them on single-handedly with my ball handling skills. It would
see
be
that one. That one I would actually agree with, because I would imagine both very uncoordinated in the staying with somebody type of guy. I picked offensive guys. Joey Porter Jr. might have had to, you know what I mean? Might have to pick it up. Officially squashing grapes. Guys, hindsight is 2020. Changed the outcome of the past signing that either did or didn't happen in recent years. I'm completing the trade for T-Mac and giving him an extension and the one wide receiver 1 title. T-Mac. What am I missing here in T-Mac? Who's T-Mac? Right?
No idea.
Right? Who's T-Mac, guys? Somebody's got to let us know.
Who we talking about here?
Who is
Tracy McGrady?
Yeah, that's the only name going through my head right now is Tracy McGrady. All right, what's your move here for the Steelers?
Oh, are you talking about like
I don't have one.
Like McMillan, TDR McMillan from the Carolina? That's not his name though, is it?
Nah, and plus you wouldn't need an extension. Terry McLaurin. Shout out. Terry McLaurin. All right. It's not a bad pick.
This is unofficially squashing grapes, because there is colloquially a different nickname he's known by. But
Scary Terry. Yeah, true.
Yeah. But it's okay. It's our fault for being stupid dum-dum boys.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going the easy one. I'm signing Sam Darnold instead of Aaron Rodgers, because they called Sam Darnold. That's the one. Win a Super Bowl.
I mean, no, it's wrong.
Who are you going with? Who's your one? I don't even know. They've kind of been bad over the last couple
They've
of
never
years.
there's no free agent signing that's like, oh my God, this is the worst thing that ever happened. Like, what are you going to do? Take back Ladarius Green's contract? Like, who gives a shit? Like, that was nothing. The $6 million they guaranteed him was rough. I think, man.
Oh, maybe I'm not trading Minka.
Maybe I think I would maybe redo that and just go back and just be like, just don't.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Just good.
You think you want to do this? You think you just like pulled one on the league? You didn't.
You didn't. You messed up. Brother. You messed up really big.
Have a wonderful day.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't have drafted Kenny Pickett. I probably wouldn't.
Oh, yeah. I would have taken anyone else. Maybe even
literally anybody. You name a person. Drafted. Sounds good to me. Go ahead. I know you're pulling up the draft class. As you do that, I'm going to read you now. Hey guys, I'm late. Going to start from the beginning, but what do you guys think of Jennings Dunker in like round 3? Go ahead. What's the draft class?
You know who went immediately after Kenny Baby Hands Pickett?
This is gonna anger me. I already know it by the tone of your voice. Go ahead.
Just a little player. Might not have heard of him. His name's Trent McDuffie.
I'm leaving.
Oh, there he is.
That's just disgusting. That's
It's
just
awful.
there it is. There's the answer. There's the answer.
Thank
Shout
God
out.
we got this 20-year-old or 26-year-old freshman at 20 overall. Thank God.
I have no words. That's despicable. That's despicable. What's your thoughts on Jennings Dunker outside of his beautiful, wonderful mullet? I
tell you what, he and I have something very much in common, and that is that we have a love affair with Culver's. You know what I mean? Because I very much respect this man and his eating habits for sure.
Sure.
I think he's a great third round pick. Like if that was the guy they get, he's nasty, he's physical, he's big, he's definitely got room to grow. You need the depth. You need a starter really at that position. I'd be great with that pickup.
Yeah, me too. Apex, what's the Discord info? If you go to the membership page and just click on like the instructions to it, it will give you a video, but you have to go to Discord. If you're once you're a member, you could go to Discord, connect it to the YouTube, and it should just pop up. I'm really bad at that stuff, but I promise there's a video in there. I promise there's a video in there to teach you how to do it. And then we're going to finish it off here with Fetty season. Noah and Jacob, you just robbed the Muffin Man. What Steelers player is your getaway driver? This is incredible.
I know nothing about.
Oh, I got a good one. No, I'm not going to say it. Can't say it out loud. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I don't want to just be like, oh, this player drives this car that I know that they drive.
Oh yeah, they all drive crazy cars. I look at it more like who's most notable. You know what I mean? Aaron Rodgers has a slight upper hand because this man already owns a fake mustache and a wig and knows how to get in touch with a Chevy Malibu. You know what I mean? He could get his hands on a Chevy Malibu when needed and act super creepy. He could get pretty much oh man, master of disguise.
What a movie. Am I not the Turtle Club? Whoever the smallest player on the team is.
See? Okay, could I push
the getaway car?
Could I push back on that one? I think the smallest player is Jaylen Warren, and I love Jaylen Warren, but I'm not asking Jaylen. Speaking with Jaylen Warren, I'm not asking Jaylen Warren to drive my getaway car. Because
I would want him as backup, though.
That's for sure, dude. That's a muscle right there. That's some muscle. Kenny G, I might ask. Kenny G. I'm asking maybe Pat Freiermuth because he just looks like a normal human. You know what I mean? He blends right in.
Wait a second. And I'm so sorry. I just this idea came to me. And I don't even know what name you just said. I apologize.
I hope it's the same name.
Will Howard. Did you just say Will Howard?
Oh, no. Great.
You're telling me that good old American boy, blonde hair, sitting there like, how you doing, officer? Like, we could just walk out with the whole tray of muffins from the Muffin Man at that point.
Dude.
Or the money from the bank. You know what I mean? What? No one said that.
Muffin Man's dead. Muffin Man wasn't us, dude. Wasn't us. That's a good one. That's a great
day. Thank you. Hey, thank you so much for what you guys do out here. And then we just drive away with just pulling the body out.
Yep. Yeah. Crumbs falling all over the place. Just yeah. Great question, dude. Great question. All right. With that one, we're heading out here. Thank you guys so much for jumping on to another episode of All Steelers Talk. One more time, I want to give a shout out to our super chatters and our members. If you want to become a member, you could do so by hitting the link in the description of the audio or the video below. Join the Discord, get some Pittsburgh Steelers intel, come hang out with the boys. With that said, subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/All Steelers Talk. Check us out anywhere you get podcasts. All our work at SI.com/Steelers. It'll be rocking this weekend as we prepare for free agency, so make sure you're there. We'll be back on Monday. Until then, enjoy another beautiful day in the Berg.